point. They can thread in like that, or depending on how they want to position. You can thread in like that. And again, very simple, straightforward. So now you have another articulation point, so you have more positioning. So this is a more functional way to use it. Before there was one of these that wasn't ordered when the bed got ordered.
Yeah.
And
they
then
call that the dog bone sometimes. I'm trying to find what people are referring to, and they say.
so this is the swivel adapter. These are just called the transitional members.
Okay.
So dog bone. Dog bone. A lot of times, what I hear for that is like, you know, like a little dog bone for cranial plating.
Yeah.
I mean, but every hospital has like different vernacular for different stuff. So,
Sure.
And then this is now, if you wanted to connect like a vertex arm or like navigation, this is just a little adapter that can go on. So it just gives you another option.
What are our new pieces? Which are the
This adapter, and then you got a different arm. It was originally ordered just with one of these. So if you imagine just having one of these,
that's the problem they had when they
you wouldn't really be able to use it.
Yeah.
So,
That's why we couldn't.
and randomly, this was sometimes the bed companies are able to quote the cranial stabilization stuff when you buy the bed, which is what happened. That's why some pieces were missing. So now you have a functional system. Now you have a lot of positioning options. And then again, you just loosen each one of these, and then you can position it however you want. This adapts for navigation, and then also now that you have this adapter, if you wanted to use the radiolucent clamp with like a Mayfield aluminum system, or like a DORO aluminum system, this would now adapt to the swivel adapter on the aluminum. So you could use this with like your traditional Mayfield too. So these are really versatile. They're nice little adapters.
So if we were hooking on, like, if we're doing like some kind of a posterior cervical, and they wanted the aluminum for whatever reason, or this was dirty, we would put this piece on here.
So if for some reason, if you wanted to use this radiolucent clamp with your normal aluminum Mayfield, if this piece is on there, then your Mayfield swivel adapter, which is aluminum that looks like this, would just go straight into that. Yeah, so this has
smaller.
aluminum threads, and they're smaller, so they'll accept either the DORO or the Mayfield. DORO and Mayfield's, all their aluminum items are compatible. They use the same size screws and thread pitch and everything. The radiolucent, we have different size screws, but yeah. So this is a nice little versatile piece. So it also makes it so this is just can be used with other systems too, not just on here if you ever wanted to. Never lubricate the radiolucent items. It seems like lubrication would make it slide better, but there's like micro pores in like the peak, and so it makes it swell a little bit, and it'll actually make it slide less. And then you have a horseshoe as well, which would attach the same way.
Is it ours now, or is it trial?
No, this is yours. Yeah, it's always been yours.
What's this one for?
Do we have radiolucent pins?
I don't believe you guys have ordered radiolucent pins yet.
So we would just use the standard ones?
Yeah, I would suggest ordering radiolucent pins. I can even leave you just a sample. These ones are not sterile, just because they're like samples. But that is the item that I would recommend that DORO makes for it.
But we can still use the pins.
Yeah, all the pins will fit. So if you have just like do you have the stainless steel or the plastic pin?
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
So I mean, those will have an artifact. So definitely wouldn't recommend using those. Will they work? For sure. They're all Mayfield and DORO pins are compatible with the different holes, so they'll work. But the idea is to have good visualization. And if you have metal, 3 metal points, it's not ideal. But questions, comments?
What's this attachment spot for?
That's just for there's like a traction on here
Okay.
if they want to use it. Not as common, but just goes in there. Good question.
Okay, how the patient position? So the head will be there, then we are moving the patient?
Well, it depends. I mean, basically, when you loosen these, you can position. But yeah, I mean, the head will be, roughly.
No, the head will rest here first, yes? Then we are moving the patient.
No, we're flipping them or sliding them over with the Mayfield on.
Yeah, I mean the head will be.
I think we still need to move the patient out.
Now, usually they're on a bed and we're gonna flip right into position.
Just like the old one.
Sliding
Take out
someone
the-
with a
the head
spine
of the
fracture
leg.
sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, well, for spine position, we are removing the head of the
Alright,
one.
this
that
one
is
we
like-
don't, we
they
just have
don't.
to like flip into them. Or onto them.
What are we gonna do, just leave the bed like that? And spin the patient?
Cause this one, we don't have like a head of the bed that they can be resting on, lift the head, take it off.
Yeah.
That won't.
That's why for posterior, yes, we can do it, but for the anterior, so the patient will be on the patient will be on the bed, intubation, then moving.
Yeah, I mean with this bed
Yeah.
setup.
We have to, I mean, it's nice, the head will
Or
be
if we
resting on the
intubate them on the actual bed, then we'll just slide them on through with those.
Yeah. Okay, when we extubate, so how we gonna rest the head? Get back? So, I mean,
And I don't make the bed. We accommodate all different
yeah, I
beds.
think the
so.
old one is.
We can use it as a backup.
But this, the intent of purchasing the rest of the attachments was so that we can
Use it.
So that we have a second
The
option.
good thing is, yeah, this is compatible with
Yes.
the one. That is a really good thing.
And if you ever, this clamp and setup, we make like a bed rail mount that's radiolucent too. If you ever need that, if you just want to mount to like other style beds. This little piece is made specifically for this medieval bed.
Let me see that piece.
Oh, this piece?
But the one from the Jackson
Maybe if
table is
possible,
also
the
the
first
same
time we
thing.
use it, you could
It's compatible.
I mean, if it's a,
with
we
the,
needed your help. Or FaceTime me.
you can FaceTime me, yeah. But I mean, that is as straightforward as it is. I mean, as far as positioning, that's going to be up to the
The surgeon,
provider.
the surgeon,
Yeah.
okay. Last time they had a hard time, right? For the type of
Which would
babies,
make sense because they were missing one of these items.
But now that we have it.
Yeah.
We just articulate like that or
Yeah.
something, you know.
If you don't have all the articulation points, it just wouldn't work. That's why, yeah. So now you have a functional system. And that was when we did the last in service, I advised that we added a different.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Cool. Thanks everyone. Happy Friday.
Trying.
Can all that go in the dishwasher after it's done?